Hello there everyone, this is KP the Math G here, and this is a 2019 free response question number 3. It has to do with a graph. As you can tell, it's a three-way piecewise graph, and this is a quarter circle right here. The center of that corner circle is at 5,3. It's continuous on the closed interval, -6, 5. Well, we don't have -6, -3, -4, on out to -6. But evidently, it is continuous on that interval. And there is a point, and I did look this up. I actually found it. There's 3 minus the square root of 5. Minus because the circle's going down this way. If the circle went on around, there would be the plus also. Anyway, well, alright. That is the point on that circle. And this is what we have here. Let's look at a part. We're probably just going to have time to do a part. That's it. If the integral from -6 to 5 f of x dx is 7, we already know that all the way from -6 to 5 is 7. Okay. Find this value from -6 to 2 f of x dx. I want to tell you that was worth this problem is worth 3 points. But I tell you what, you need to know more math skills than just 3 points worth, I think anyway, to be able to do this problem. It takes a little while. We're going to just do this one. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do B part. I'm definitely not going to get all 4 parts because we're just not going to have time, and my camcorder will not allow but 31 minutes at the max. This is just an old camera, and so it's just giving me limited time. Anyway, let's get to the problem. Let's find this. Well, gracious, how do we find it? Well, I do know that that if we could figure out from -2 to 5 what all this is, and by the way, it's area under the curve, okay, that borders this x-axis. It's got to border the x-axis. So you got to understand that. Alright, so here's what we got to do. Let's look at this. There is a rule that says that if we can go from A to B, and we'll still call it F, if we add to that, if we can kind of get that B here to C, alright, then we will get A to C. We'll have the link together like that. That's anyway, that's what we got here. From A to B, B to C, we automatically can go from A to C. Okay. I hear my wife talking on the phone in the background. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can follow that. Let's see if we can do that. We're going to probably, no doubt, we're going to have to flip the board over back and forth, I'm sure. So let's see what we got here. What we're going to do here is this. We're going to say, well, alright, from, let's see, -6, oops, This is what we're trying to find anyway, isn't it? Alpha x dx. Now, if we can add to that, maybe negative 2 to 5 alpha x dx. Okay, see how that's linking right there. Okay, then we're going to equal that to, that equals from negative 6 to 5. Now you put the lower limit to the highest limit. Okay. And see how that works? Alright, that's what you're doing there. Alright. Takes a little thought. I know, it really does, but I think you can do this. We know this equals 7, so let's flip the board over. Okay. Now let's redo it. Okay. So let's go with this. All right. Okay, now we're going to figure this one out, but it is from negative 2 to 5 alpha x dx. We're going to have to flip back and forth. Now remember, this equals from negative 6 to 5 alpha x dx, but we know that that's equal to 7. So we were given that this part equals 7. Now let's not forget that, because sometimes we're going to be focusing on this. If we get this, we're going to be able to get this. You see what I'm saying? Alright. It's kind of saying, like, a plus 6 equals 1. Well, if I can get the 6 here, okay, I don't know what this is yet, but we are going to find it. I do know what it is, but let's go back and look at the table. Let's see what all we can get out of this. Okay, now we need this area here plus this area here, but whatever this area here is, and this area is, from negative 2 to negative 1, and then from negative 1 to 0, you might want to say cancel each other out, if you will. See, this is a triangle. Alright, so this is 1 times 1 is 1, and then of course the area is 1/2 the base times the height, so this is a half, and anything below the graph is also, it's also a half, but it's negative 1/2 because it's below the graph. So these cancel each other out. That's 0. Well, we got a dilemma here. Boy, they really wanted you to sweat this out. I'm telling you. We got to find this point. And, you know, you can't assume that this is 1/2. Well, it is, but we cannot just automatically assume that this is 1/2. We got to figure out what this triangle here is below. And then we got to get this triangle right here. We got to get this triangle. As a matter of fact, this one will be fairly, well, we don't know. We don't know what this length is down this base is, do we? So that's what we got to do. We got to find out what this number is. So we know that this line here is at 0, negative 1, and this point here is at 2, 3. Alright, 2, 3. Alright, like that. Alright, that's what we have. Alright, so if I can find the slope, which I actually can, I'm wanting the equation of this so I can figure out what this point is right here, where this point of intersection is. Okay, it's on the x-axis. Okay, so I can easily figure this out. Well, we know y is equal to mx plus b. Alright, we know that b is negative 1. We just need to figure out what this m is. Alright, m is easy because rise over run. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. So 4 over 2, 4 over 2. Alright, m is 4 over 2, which is really just 2. So 2x plus 1. So to find out, just kind of go back to your algebra skills. When you want to find the x-intercept, you let y be, yeah, that's right, 0. So 0 is equal to 2x minus 1. And of course, if you solve this, you add this 1 to both sides. Alright, so 1 is equal to 2x. So that means that x is equal to 1/2. So this x is 1/2. Now I know how far this is. This is 1/2. Alright, so 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. Now remember, you take half of that, so this is negative 1/4. So it's actually 1/2 times 1. And then you got to remember, you're multiplying that by 1/2. So actually 1/4 times 1, which is 1/4. But since it's below the x-axis, it's negative. So we know that that's negative 1/4. This one right here is 1.5, which is 1.5 here. The width is, which is really just 3/2. Okay, 1.5, which is 3/2, times the height, which is 1, 2, 3. So times 3, and then take half of that, remember, so times 1/2. Alright, so let's see, 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 1 is 9, 9 over 4. Alright, so this part right up here is 9 over 4. Alright, alright, so we're going to add all this up is what we're going to do. This is 0, we don't need to worry about that. Negative 1/4 plus 9/4, we're going to get that. So we might as well start. Okay. What we have here is 1/2. Well, let's get a different color. Okay. What we have here is 1/2. Well, okay. I'm sorry. My colors are not minus or plus negative 1/2. We know that's 0. And then we had a negative 1/4 plus 9/4 at this point. Now we have to get the area of the quarter circle. Quarter circle. Now area of a circle, of course, is pi r squared. But since it's a quarter circle, what are we going to divide by or multiply by? Multiply by 1/4, 4 divided by 4. Now let's figure out what r is very quickly. Alright, so r is, we know that this is 5, 3 right up here. That's the center. It's at 5, 3. So anywhere from this, I'm 3. The radius should be, if I count backwards, 1, 2, 3, or count down 1, 2, 3. I'm 3 units up. See, this tells me how much my radius is right here. All right, so my radius r is 3. All right, so I'm going to make this 3 right here. So times 3 squared, which is actually 9 pi over 4. But now that's the area up here. That's this area up here. So what we're going to have to do, I've got about just a few minutes to be done. We got a appointment with the I exercise about 3 or 4 times a week, see, and getting time to go pretty soon, but I'll be ready. I'll be done with this. Okay, this right here, let's make a square out of it. Because if I can, we know this area is 9 pi over 4. We want this area right here. What is this little area underneath here? Remember, it's got to be tangent to the x-axis. This is up here. Got to be aware of that. So this is a square, isn't it? We know that these sides, this radius is 3. This side's 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, isn't it? So 9, this minus this. If I can take away this, if I can take away this part right here, okay, take away that 9/4, then I'm left with this right here. So in all, this is 9, this area of this, minus this portion here gives me this portion here. So 9 minus 9 pi over 4. Alright, that's what I've got. So 9 minus 9 pi over 4. Alright, so this area here is 9 minus 9 minus 9 pi over 4. Well, okay, so let's see what we get here. This is going to be 0 plus 1, negative 1/4 plus 9/4 is 8/4, which is 2 over 4. Alright, that's 2 plus 9 minus 9 pi over 4. Now that's just this. We haven't found this yet, and keep that in mind. Alright, so 2 plus 9 is 11. So 11 minus 9 pi over 4 is equal to this part right here, 2 to 5 alpha at x dx. That's what we found. We know that because if we look back again, we found it on this interval from -2 all the way to 5. You're looking at areas under curves. If it's below the x-axis, it's negative. Above the x-axis, it's positive. This is the tricky one here. Yeah, you have to know a few rules here, okay, to get this. You've got to really pay this attention. This is not 9/4 here. It's 9 minus 9 pi over 4. It's not 9 pi over 4. It's 9 pi over 4 here. Alright, so you got to take this square. Take this, make a square out of this. And then take the area of the square minus this area here. And you have this little area right here. Alright, so all said then, we're going to make a little substitution now. Okay. Alright, so what we have here is from -2 to -6 alpha at x dx is equal to, now I know what this is, 11 minus 9 pi over 4, which equals 7, right? Alright, so if I subtract this right here, oh, this is actually plus this, okay, so now once again, oh, we're getting it, that's what we're looking for. So from -6 to -2, alpha at x dx is sloppy. Dx is plus equals. Now I'm going to subtract this off right here. I'm going to add this to both sides. Okay, that's equal to minus 11 plus 9 pi over 4. Now that's equal to -4 plus 9 pi over 4, which is, or we can just say 9 pi over 4 minus 4. Every which way you want to write that. The negative is here, so minus 4. Like that. I can leave it there. Once you get it, you got it. Okay, that's it. A little bit of work here. Okay. Well, you had to know several things, didn't you? You had to know an equation of a line. You had to figure out what this point of intersection is. So you had to find the equation of the line and then set y equals 0 to find this value of x. Once we could do that, we could get that. We had to remember what the area of a circle is, and then divide it by 4. Since it's a quarter circle, we divide it by 4, right? Okay, and so, but that's not it. We have to make a square here, didn't we? And then take the area of the square minus. So the area is 9 minus this portion here, and that's this little area right here. So all told, you found this right here from -2 to 5 right there. Okay. -2 here probably. Okay, that's probably better. Okay, like that. And again, that's the principle. If I can go from -6 to -2, and then from -2 to 5, I got -6 to 5, and that's what we already had. That was 7, and we just had to find this to get this. All right, just to flip it over, give you one last look. There it is, right there. All right, that's all I have time to discuss right now. This is KP the Math G, getting ready to sign off. If you want to hit that subscribe button, please do so. If you want to hit that like button, you see I'm already smiling when I say hit that like button. If you want to make a comment, please do so. I appreciate comments. So I hope that this has helped you, and whether you do any of that or not, the subscribing or like button or making a comment, I just want you to get this and understand what's going on here. So I'm looking probably at 2 more lessons from this, most likely. A B portion and D portion first probably, and then C, I'm going to save that one for last. And there's reason for that. Okay, this is KP the Math G signing off. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great, great day.